really blessed Easter. Had a little break from all the schoolwork. Were able to spend your weekend with your families, and hopefully you got everything great out of being able to spend that entire Holy Week with your families and then to celebrate during Easter. So mine was good. It was pretty quiet. We didn't do any Easter egg hunts. We meant to color some eggs and we didn't do that, but that's okay. What mattered is we woke up together. We had Mass together, and we spent the day celebrating what Easter really means. So, okay, back to schoolwork. We are now on lesson 92. We're getting really close to lesson 100. Today's lesson is about order of operations. So when you have a problem that has more than one operation, like you are adding three numbers, or you have addition and subtraction together in a problem, there is an order of operations, and normally we work from left to right. However, if there are parentheses within an equation like that, a problem like that, then we have to start with the parentheses first, okay? So let me show you an example of that. Okay, so here we are. If I had a problem, let's go ahead and take 14 plus 8 plus 3, all right? And let's say the parentheses was around here, all right? A lot of times when you have a problem like this, they're gonna say simplify, which basically means do the problem and find the answer, okay? So whenever you see the word simplify, then that means that you are going to solve for the answer. All right, in order of operations, we always do parentheses first, okay? Even though in addition, if I went left to right, we are going to get the same answer. But it's always, if there are parentheses in the problem, you have to start with the parentheses first, okay? So 8 plus 3 equals 11, okay? And like everything else, you have to bring everything down, okay? Don't just quickly answer and put an answer. I want you guys to do this by steps, okay? That's important because when you guys get into algebra, it is important that you go step by step. That way you're not missing anything, okay? So we haven't dealt with the 14 and the plus yet. So we need to make sure that we bring those down, 14 plus, the answer to 8 plus 3. Now we can add them together, okay? And then we get the answer 25, okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with if you needed to figure something out on the side because you need to carry over. In this case, we don't. So it was pretty simple to come up with 25. But once in a while, we'll get something where, just to be sure, I'd like for you guys to write your problem out vertically. That way you can carry over and make sure that you've done the problem correctly, okay? But this is how you would solve a problem with parentheses, okay? Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one where the operations are actually different within a problem, okay? So if we had 18 minus 3 plus 2, okay, and we put the parentheses here, all right, then we need to solve the 3 plus 2 first because it's in parentheses, which is 5, okay? We haven't used the 18 and the subtraction sign, so we want to make sure we bring that down. Now we have 18 minus 5, and we know the answer is 13, okay? The same goes for multiplication or division. Okay, let me do one with division. Let's go 21 divided by 7 divided by 3. Okay, and this time I'm going to put the parentheses here. Okay, So first we have to do whatever's in the parentheses first. 21 divided by 7, okay? 21 divided by 7, or what? How many times does 7 go into 21, or what times 7 equals 21? The answer there is 3, okay? We then bring down the division sign plus the other 3. 3 divided by 3, we know is 1. The answer is 1, okay? This is where, in division, you're going to find that parentheses are incredibly important, because if I had the 7 divided by 3, your answer is going to be completely different than what it has turned out with the parentheses around 21 divided by 7, okay? So even though in subtraction and addition, if an entire problem is just addition, the parentheses, even though it doesn't make much of a difference where it is, you still have to do the parentheses first. Always get used to doing the parentheses first, because that is called order of operations, and it makes a difference in most problems. Okay, compatible numbers, all right? They actually have another lesson within this lesson. All right, so all compatible numbers are numbers that can work easily together. Basically, they make doing the problem easier, all right? So if you were to have a problem like they have, 50 plus 40 plus 160, you look for those numbers that you know that you can add very easily to get either a round number or just numbers that are easier to work with. I already know that 40 and 60 equal 100. Okay, so I know then that 160 plus 40, which they went ahead and put parentheses around there, they added that first, and we know we get 200. So now all we have to do is add the 50 plus the 200, we get 250. Okay, much easier to work with than saying 50 plus 40 is 90, and then 90 plus 160. There's a lot more work involved doing that problem in that order. All right, so that's compatible numbers. Another way to use compatible numbers is to think of numbers in terms of increments of 25. So it would be like dealing with quarters, right? Okay, so if we have 75 plus 25 plus 30, I know that 75 cents plus 25 cents is $1, correct? Okay, so those type of numbers are very easy to work with. So 75 plus 25, I'll put parentheses there so I know I'm doing that first, is 100, then 100 plus 30 is 130, okay? And it might be in a different order. It could be 50 plus, let's say 13, plus 25, okay? The easiest numbers to work with are going to be the 50 and 25. So if I add those first, 50 and 25, we know that's 75, because it's like taking 50 cents plus 25 cents. We know we have 75 cents. And then we can add the 13. Now, again, it's much easier to work with. 5 plus 3 is 8. 7 plus 1 is 8. Your answer is 88. Okay? That's part of compatible numbers too. All right, and this would work for subtraction as well. Okay, so those are our 2 lessons for today. I think the parentheses is a little bit easier to work with. You already know how to do normal operations, and now with the parentheses added, you know that you have to do whatever's in parentheses first. Compatible numbers can be a little confusing at times, but just remember, it's those numbers that work very well together, that are very easy to work with. I think our brains sometimes do that automatically when we look at a problem that might have 3 or 4 digits. We already look for those things that are easy to add, like 9 plus 1 we know automatically is 10, 8 plus 2 is 10. And like we were just talking about, 25 plus 75 equals 100, or 25 and 25 is 50, because we are used to working with quarters. We know how easy it is to add those things together. Okay, so hopefully you work on lesson practice. Do that. Make sure you understand. If you have any questions, please message me on YouTube, have your parents email me, ask them questions, and hopefully they'll be able to help you out as well. Okay? All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you probably tomorrow for lesson 93.